Hi, Year 11, it's Mrs. Elmer here. This is just your advice for the upcoming mock exam. Ideally, you should use this in conjunction with the revision guidance booklet I've already given you. And obviously, at the end of watching this, if you still have any questions before the exam on Wednesday the 9th, then please do come and see me. So, as you'll know, the overview of the exam is on the inside cover of the revision booklet. It's not come out brilliantly here, but you get the idea of the three sections: Section A, Section B, Section C. You've got 1 hour 45 minutes for the whole exam. So what I've done is, according to the marks allotted, I have split up the recommended timings per question. And as I've already said to you, I would start with section A and then I'd go to section C and work backwards. So the 32 marker down to the 4 marker in section B, so that you can use the time more efficiently. It will be tricky writing to time at this stage, so please don't worry. It'll be brilliant if you manage to get it all in the time, but I'm not fully expecting that, so don't worry if that's the case. So section A, as you know, this is the multiple choice questions, 4 questions. It's very, very quick. You either know it or you don't. So I'd move on and guess if you don't. But it's about roles and responsibilities in the theatre, stage positioning, and stage types. I've put 2 minutes down there, but as I've already told you, if you can get it done under a minute, even better. And then move straight on. Section B is on the set text, the 39 steps. And as with your Year 10 mock, you'll be writing 4 extended answers to answer questions about how you would either design or perform as characters in a selected extract from the play. That extract will be, like with your Year 10 mock, will be included in the exam paper, so you can write all over it and highlight all over it. But you will also have an access to a clean copy of the whole play, which is really only useful for question 4 if you need it. Question 1 is always a design question. You have to describe how you would either design costume, set, sound or lighting for the character or the scene in the extract. Because we've only really covered we have covered a little bit of sound, but costume and set for that, then that would be what you prepare for the mock. Please don't worry about lighting. I will cover that at a later stage in preparation for the summer. This is always a context question, hence the bold there. So it needs to be appropriate to the 1930s. There will be a phrase in the question to that, saying that, and so literally quote that phrase in your answer. It's showing that you understand what design would be needed for that time. It's full marks. You can do that in 5 minutes because it's only a describe question, not an explain as well. Question 2 is always going to be about performing as a character. You will have a quotation or quotations from the extract. It may also include a stage direction, and you have to say how you would perform as that line, referring to a range of vocal and physical skills. And this is often where students can lose marks because they don't write enough examples of each. But you also have to say it's a describe and explain. So you have to say what you do and what that would communicate to an audience. 8 marks, spend 10 minutes on that. Really try to be strict with yourself about moving on for these questions. Question 3 is always performing as one named character in the shaded extract. So that will be the slightly greyed area, often towards the end of an extract, not always. And you have to write about the context of that and state then how you perform as that character vocally and physically, as well as how you would react to another actor. So you have to say, as such and such, I would do this, and the actor playing the other character would do this. So it's often about tension or comedy, or sometimes just relationships between the characters. This is the most tricky one. This is the most difficult one because you have to say what you would do, what somebody else would do, and then come back to the key words of the question, which is comedy, tension, or relationships. So if you can nail this one, you're doing brilliantly, as lots of you did in the Year 10 mock. 12 marks, 16 minutes is actually quite a long time to write a fair bit. You'll be surprised what you can get done in that time. Question 4. So this is the longest question and the most marks in section B. It's always about performing as a character through the extract and the play as a whole. So as we know, it can only really be Hannah or Pamela or the professor really for this play. So luckily for you, it's narrowed down somewhat, and we've been looking at that in lessons. You have to write about the named character in the whole play and also how you perform as this character in this extract. And so there's only a finite amount of options that you could have. So depending on what the section is, the extract is, you would hopefully have some examples of those characters elsewhere in the play ready. Okay, please refer to a range of vocal and physical skills in the extract. Sometimes students forget to do that and they just write about elsewhere in the play. Sometimes they just write about the extract and don't do elsewhere in the play. And this can really limit your marks. Please you need to include at least 4 detailed examples. That's from the extract, and I'd say aim for 3 from elsewhere. It's worth 20 marks, and I'm saying use 27 minutes for that. Again, you can write quite a lot of that, and it's more straightforward than question 3, that one. Section C, which you are newer to, and this isn't something you did in the Year 10 mock, is your evaluation of live theatre from Wonder.land. You have a choice of 3 questions, analysing and evaluating the live production that you've watched online, so you've been able to re-watch it. There will be always an acting question and then a choice of 2 design questions. As you know, it'll be set and or costume for this mock exam. I'm not going to give you something you haven't prepared for yet. You answer 1 only. Please don't try and get them all done in the time. And that's quite a biggie. That's worth 32 marks. And I'm saying use 42 minutes for that. But that is actually 2 mark schemes. It's a describe mark scheme and an analyse and evaluate mark scheme. So it's sort of separated. So if you followed my advice for structuring your paragraphs, as I'm going to outline again just shortly, you will be able to access both of those mark schemes very well. Okay, so this is just a reminder of your acting answer paragraph structure. Remember, it's good to actually outline who the character is and explain the context of the moment you're referring to, because it makes it a lot easier then to describe what the actor was doing with their physical skills, vocal skills, how they're interacting with others. And remember, this fits in bold here because this is the meat of the answer. This is where most of the marks are. So to evaluate, you still need to make sure you get those words like successfully and effectively shoved in there. Really importantly, link at number 8 there, link back to the keyword in the question and evaluate to show that you're answering that question, that you aren't just regurgitating a lot of notes about what you know about the play, you're answering that question. For the set, it's a similar thing where you have your opening statement. It could be helpful to have a little quick sketch of the set and how it supported the action, if that is the key phrase. Again, it's good to explain the context of your examples because the set may have changed, and in this play it does change, just to quickly show how it's changed. And so that you can help. It doesn't replace your description and your analysis, but it can help aid it. It can help explain it. And again, it's a wide range of specific set design skills. The wider the range, the more marks you're getting. And then come back to evaluate how it supported the action, or possibly how it showed location, or how it impressed you, whatever the key word is. And then costume. Again, it's very similar to the structure of the set answer, that you will, and also make sure you're referring to the designers for both set and costume. It's their decisions that didn't just happen by accident. So it'd be good to outline who the characters are in terms of their and what's happening in the scene, to then be able to evaluate how well the costume showed those things, or how it was relevant for that moment, like evening wear or day wear or practicality, that kind of thing. Then link back to the keyword in the question, to do with the style possibly, or to do with how it showed wealth or status or the character's personality, or whatever the question happens to be, to show that you've understood you're answering this question, not just a practice question. And finally, good luck, go for it, don't worry about the time, give it your best shot. And remember, it's a mock for a reason. So if there's anything that's going to go wrong, it goes wrong now. And it also really helps tell me what it is that you know, what you need to know will need to know for May. It'll tell me what I still need to teach. Okay, good luck.